You spend hours on your resume. You carefully tweak every single comma.
Yeah.
You finally hit submit, and it just vanishes into a digital black hole.
Right. Just complete silence. It's incredibly demoralizing.
It is. It is universally frustrating because you feel totally invisible. Okay, let's unpack this. What if we could actually flip the script today? What if the very robots that companies use to filter you out, well, what if they could become your personal career coach?
Right. And they can actually be the tool that gets you hired. That is the big twist we are exploring today.
Welcome to our deep dive. You are always looking to learn, and we are really glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Today, we are completely reverse engineering the modern job search. We are going to use targeted AI prompts to dismantle the hiring maze.
It is a complete system overhaul.
Exactly. We will cover fixing your CV, finding the right job target, building a sustainable action plan, mastering networking, and finally surviving the interview.
We're taking you from feeling helpless to being entirely in control of the process.
But we really have to start with the foundation, the CV.
Right.
Before you send out a single application, that document needs serious work.
Because if the foundation is weak, the whole house crumbles.
Exactly. Before you even walk through the door. First, we need to define our core tool for this, an AI prompt. It is a specific instruction you give AI to get a helpful answer.
Yeah, that is a good way to put it.
Beat. Think of it like talking to a very smart friend, a friend who has somehow read every resume in existence.
Right, and that friend knows exactly what large corporations actually want to see on that page.
You absolutely need that friend right now. It is all because of the robot filter.
Oh, the ATS.
Yeah. Big companies do not use humans to read your CV first anymore.
No, they rely entirely on software, applicant tracking systems.
Right.
These systems are essentially text parsers. They ruthlessly scan for magic keywords.
And if you lack those exact magic words, your application is trashed instantly.
Dead on arrival.
Exactly, no matter how qualified you actually are.
And this is exactly where the AI prompt becomes your secret weapon.
Yeah.
You have to speak the machine's language.
The tactic here is genuinely fascinating. You do not just open a chat window and say, write a CV.
No, that is way too basic.
You have to tell the AI to act as a mean hiring manager. You give it a very specific persona.
Yeah, you tell it to be a mean recruiter with 50 years of experience.
Right, in your exact industry.
You ask it to ruthlessly audit your resume. You instruct it to find 3 glaring reasons why you are not getting callbacks.
You ask it to check your keyword density. You ask if your experience sounds too generic. It is a brutal process, but it helps immensely. It is like having a friendly hacker stress test your computer's firewall before it goes live.
That is a great analogy.
You want the AI to aggressively find the holes in your experience. You want to fix them before a real human recruiter throws your application in the trash.
Yeah, it hurts the ego a little bit. The AI might explicitly tell you that your achievements are way too vague. But the mechanism works beautifully. Instead of letting you use lazy phrases like, I work hard, it gets highly specific.
It forces you to rewrite it, like, I helped the company grow sales by 20%.
Exactly. It demands real, quantifiable numbers. Numbers are what actually prove your value to a business.
Honestly, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you start with a highly specific persona, and suddenly, a few questions later, you are getting vague, sycophantic answers again.
Right, and that happens because the AI's context window gets diluted.
You
have to constantly remind the AI to stay in character. Keep telling it to be that mean, skeptical recruiter.
Right. Before we move on to the next step, I have a fundamental question.
Sure.
Does the AI actually know what recruiters want, or is it just making a highly educated guess?
Well, it doesn't know in the way a human relies on a gut feeling.
Okay.
It recognizes massive data patterns. It was trained on millions of successful resumes and corresponding job postings. So it mathematically predicts which specific words usually lead to success in that exact context.
So it predicts patterns instead of actually thinking.
Exactly. 2-sec silence.
So your CV is now an impenetrable fortress, but where do you actually aim it?
Right.
Applying everywhere is just a fast track to severe burnout.
It is a completely exhausting strategy. People send out 50 generic resumes a day. It is entirely the wrong approach.
You really need to uncover your hidden career pivots. Sometimes you actually possess the exact skills for lucrative jobs you never even considered.
Yeah, people get stuck inside their own industry jargon bubble.
Right.
They completely forget that their core skills are highly transferable to other sectors.
So you take a different approach. You feed the AI a plain English list of your actual daily skills.
Hmm.
Maybe you are exceptionally good at de-escalating angry clients.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you are great at making complex logistical schedules work.
Yeah.
You feed that in and you ask it for 5 specific job titles.
You specifically tell it to steer clear of generic administrative office work. You are looking for targeted roles.
Suddenly, the AI strips away your industry jargon, and you realize you are actually a perfect fit for a tech project manager role.
Wow. Yeah.
You can narrow your focus completely.
And when you focus intensely on one specific goal, your professional vocabulary becomes much sharper.
Right.
Your eventual interview answers become significantly more confident.
But narrowing your focus isn't quite enough. You then need the action plan prompt. Finding a new job is basically a psychological battle. You need a sustainable daily strategy.
Yeah, you cannot just apply for one job on a Monday, get discouraged, and then wait 3 days to try again.
Right.
That kind of inconsistency completely kills your forward momentum.
You ask the AI to generate a simple, customized one-week schedule.
Exactly.
You tell it your overarching goal, say finding a solid job prospect in 30 days.
The AI breaks the massive mountain down into pebbles.
I like that.
It tells you exactly how many CVs to send daily. It schedules dedicated time for LinkedIn networking. It even shows you how to track applications using a tool like Notion. Applying a little bit every single day absolutely beats inconsistent, massive effort.
Consistency is everything here. But I hear that, and honestly, I have to push back here.
Okay, I love a good pushback. What is the issue?
Well, if someone is already totally exhausted from their current 9-to-5 job, does a rigid daily AI-generated schedule actually work? It just sounds like adding even more grueling work to an already burnt-out person.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, well, the schedule actually removes the heaviest mental burden you carry.
How so?
Most job seekers suffer terribly from decision fatigue. You sit down at your laptop at 8 p.m. and think, wow, what do I even do now?
That makes a lot of sense. The mental friction is the hardest part.
Exactly. The schedule tells you precisely what the next step is. Send 3 resumes, message 2 people, update 1 Notion page.
And then you are done.
Then you are completely done for the night. It actively prevents you from feeling overwhelmed.
It effectively limits the cognitive load. I really like that reframing. Let me ask you this about the psychology of goal setting. How strict should someone actually be with this daily AI-generated schedule?
You should treat it as a flexible baseline. It is a helpful guide designed to keep you moving forward.
Okay.
It is not a rigid set of unbreakable laws that you should feel guilty about missing.
Use the schedule as a guide, not a prison. Perfect. 2-sec silence. Mid-roll, sponsor, red, placeholder, 2-sec silence. We are back. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
A perfectly planned schedule and a flawless CV mean absolutely nothing if your online presence turns recruiters away.
Exactly. They spend maybe 10 seconds rapidly scanning your digital profile.
10 seconds.
That is your 10-second digital face to the corporate world. LinkedIn is almost always their very first stop.
Right. And if it is empty or if it contradicts your resume, you just look incredibly unprofessional.
But writing a compelling profile is notoriously difficult.
It is.
Writing about yourself always feels incredibly awkward.
It feels boastful. This is where you can deploy a specific LinkedIn prompt. You instruct the AI to act as a high-end personal branding expert. You feed it your updated work history.
Right.
You have it completely rewrite your about section from scratch.
And you specifically tell it to be highly impressive, but remarkably friendly.
You want to sound like an absolute expert, but also like someone people actually want to grab a coffee with.
Yeah, it creates a polished, shiny online face in mere seconds.
And if you use the right keywords, recruiters actually start messaging you first.
Exactly.
Then you take that newly polished profile and you move to the scariest part for most people.
Cold outreach.
Cold outreach. Messaging total strangers online.
This terrifies a massive amount of people.
It really does.
They instinctively think they're just being annoying to busy professionals.
Right. They feel like they are practically begging for a job. But that is entirely the wrong mindset to have. Think of it instead as offering a mutual collaboration.
Yes. In networking, it is called the value-based connection. You absolutely do not say, please help me find a job.
You ask the AI to draft a message to a specific hiring manager.
Right?
You instruct it to keep the text strictly under 100 words.
Short, punchy, and highly respectful of their time.
Exactly.
Okay.
You highlight one very specific skill you possess, a skill that actively helps their specific company solve a known problem.
Yeah.
Then you confidently ask for just 15 minutes to talk strictly about their company culture.
It completely flips the psychological dynamic.
Right.
You are bringing potential value to their table. You are not begging for a favor.
You are simply starting an equal professional conversation. I do have a quick question on the unwritten rules of online etiquette here.
Sure.
Is it considered weird or invasive to message hiring managers completely out of the blue?
Not at all. If your message is highly concise, polite, and clearly focused on their current business needs, they usually appreciate the proactive approach.
Right.
It shows real initiative.
Cold outreach works when you offer mutual value first. That tracks. 2-sec silence. So the value-based outreach actually worked. You finally got the call back.
Right.
You got the interview.
Now you are finally in the hot seat. And this is exactly where the most qualified people tend to freeze up entirely.
The adrenaline spikes, nerves completely take over, and you somehow forget your own 10 years of experience?
Right. You absolutely have to practice out loud, but finding a genuinely good practice partner is really hard.
It is. Your friends probably do not understand the technical nuances of your specific industry.
No, usually not.
This brings us to a really powerful tool, the mock interview prompt. You use an advanced AI to vividly role-play the exact hiring manager.
Google's Gemini is particularly great for this specific task.
Right.
It understands conversational context and memory very well.
You ask it to feed you 5 incredibly hard questions.
Yeah?
Questions specifically tailored to the weaknesses in your own skills.
But here is the crucial trick to the prompt.
What's that?
You tell it to ask the questions one by one. It must stop after your every response to harshly grade your answer.
Did you ramble and talk too much? Was your main point actually clear? What specific, quantifiable examples were missing from your story? Whoa. Imagine scaling that capability. A tireless practice partner who has analyzed 1 billion queries about interview psychology.
It is truly incredible. You can practice at midnight in your pajamas.
Right.
You can fail completely safely.
Right.
You build vital muscle memory for the hardest questions.
It removes the existential panic of the unknown. You walk into that room knowing you have already faced the absolute hardest questions they could possibly throw at you.
And that underlying quiet confidence is what actually wins you the job in the end.
Then we reach the final, critical step before the big day, the final system audit prompt.
Right. You need to objectively check your entire interconnected job search system.
You want to make absolutely sure all the pieces fit together seamlessly.
Exactly.
It is exactly like stacking Lego blocks of data. You want to build a highly consistent profile. You feed your polished CV, your targeted job descriptions, and your practice interview scripts all into the AI at once.
You explicitly ask it to act as an executive career coach.
Right.
It scans the entire package and checks for glaring inconsistencies.
Does your resume portray you as a quiet, methodical data analyst? But your interview script makes you sound like a loud, aggressive salesperson?
It catches those mismatched puzzle pieces instantly.
Wow.
It ensures your overall emotional tone perfectly fits the established culture of the industry you are targeting.
It is like meticulously checking all your bags before a really long trip.
Exactly.
Let me ask you about this system consistency. Can the AI genuinely detect if my underlying emotional tone is somehow off?
Yes, it absolutely can. It deeply analyzes your specific word choices.
Okay.
It sees if your resume sounds highly aggressive, but your networking messages suddenly sound overly passive or timid. It spots that psychological disconnect.
It reads your underlying emotional tone across all platforms.
Oh.
Fascinating. 2-sec silence. So we have an airtight system now. Everything matches perfectly, from the resume to the interview pitch.
But there is a massive, highly dangerous trap here. We absolutely have to talk about the danger zone of using these tools.
You are talking about the temptation of letting the AI do 100% of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Just copying and pasting blindly without thinking?
Exactly. Recruiters have developed highly tuned radars for what we call robot words.
They read thousands of resumes a month. They can spot unedited AI output instantly.
The AI merely provides the structural bones of your application. You must still provide the human skin.
That is a great way to put it. You have to actively add your real messy stories, your real human emotions,
Right.
your actual unique personality.
Modern recruiters do not actually hate AI assistants. They assume you use it. But the fundamental information you provide must be completely demonstrably true.
Because if you let the machine carelessly invent things, you will eventually fail the background check.
And you will lose the offer.
Exactly.
This brings us to a major technical issue we need to understand. AI hallucinations. Let's define that simply for everyone. It is when AI confidently makes up fake information or false details.
It happens all the time because of how they are built. Large language models are essentially pattern pleasers.
Right.
If it lacks actual data about you, it will happily invent a fake degree or a fake previous job.
Just to complete the visual pattern of a good resume,
Exactly.
you must carefully, manually verify every single company name and date. You have to read every single word it generates out loud.
This raises an important question.
What's that?
Well, with all these different risks and benefits, which specific tool should you actually use for these different steps?
There are so many major options now.
Yeah, and you really should not just use one single tool for every part of this process.
Right.
ChatGPT is extremely smart and highly analytical. It understands complex logic very fast. Use it for planning your complex schedules and fixing structural CV errors.
But Claude is architecturally different.
Yes.
It writes very naturally. It sounds significantly more like a real, empathetic human being.
Right, and that nuanced tone makes Claude absolutely perfect for writing delicate networking messages.
And thoughtful thank you letters.
Exactly.
Then there is Google's Gemini. It is directly connected to the live internet.
Yeah, it is fantastic at finding very current, up-to-date information. Use Gemini to deeply research the target company's current market position.
Or, like we mentioned, to run those dynamic live mock interviews.
Right. Regardless of the tool, you also have to guide the language actively.
You literally have to prompt it to sound like a normal human.
You literally tell it in the prompt, write in a highly natural, friendly, and conversational way.
You specifically instruct it, don't use fancy corporate words like breakthrough or expert.
You have to keep it conversational. If you ever see the word delve, tapestry, or navigate, delete it immediately.
Yeah.
Those are the absolute classic dead giveaway robot words.
One final probing question on the deeper implications here.
Sure.
Is it considered ethically wrong or cheating to use AI for all this intensive hiring prep?
Not at all. It is exactly like using an advanced calculator for complex calculus.
Right.
It is just a standard, expected productivity tool in the modern professional landscape now.
It is a standard tool, not an unfair advantage. That clears that up perfectly. 2-sec silence. So what does this all mean? We are finally wrapping up this deep dive into the modern hiring process.
It fundamentally means the job hunt does not have to be quite so soul-crushing and exhausting.
You do not have to feel like you are fighting the machine entirely alone.
No, you don't.
It is a massive, empowering shift in perspective. This isn't just about automatically fixing a few typos on a PDF resume.
Right. It is really about reclaiming your lost confidence. It is about working way smarter, not just harder. It is about actively overcoming the deep exhaustion of the modern corporate hiring maze.
You are still the boss of your own career.
Absolutely.
The AI is just your incredibly fast, highly organized executive assistant.
Yeah.
It can open the heavy door for you, but you still have to bravely walk through it yourself.
Right. And do not try to do it all at once. Just start with one very simple instruction today. Try running the mean recruiter prompt on your current CV tonight. Just see what happens.
Try it. Just take that single, easy first step.
Yeah.
And as we close, I want to leave you with this final thought.
Okay.
We just systematically used AI to decode and conquer the incredibly corporate hiring maze.
It's a very stressful, highly bureaucratic maze.
Exactly. So if a few lines of text can successfully reverse engineer the intimidating, highly gate-kept process of corporate hiring, well, what other stressful bureaucratic life systems could you absolutely dismantle using a well-crafted prompt? 2-sec silence. No more digital black holes for your resume. Thanks so much for listening. UTRO Music.